sisters, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. How's it going, y'all? And what is going on? How are y'all doing? Like, seriously, let me know in the comments what y'all been watching, what y'all been anticipating, whatever movies, television shows you're anticipating on watching this week. It could be anything that is coming out, anything that has been out, and you're like, okay, beloved, I'm getting around to some things that has been on my watch list, and I got some time to sit down and relax and get into this. Let me know all of that, because y'all know I showed up and trying to get into my little watch list. Oh, y'all, I'm just so excited to be here with y'all today. Oh, I gotta tell y'all what happened. Y'all gotta tell you what happened, girl, okay? Well, y'all know, like, County Rescue, it has completed its second season, and yes, we're believing God and we're waiting patiently to hear that the show has been renewed for a third season. But while we wait, we gotta keep it moving. We still gotta put things out there. We still gotta be hopeful. We still gotta talk movies and television shows, right? So, y'all, I was gonna say I stumbled across this, but I don't really believe in coincidence, so I'm just gonna say the Lord showed it to me. Somehow I accidentally clicked on this show. And I'm like, wait a minute, because I thought I was clicking on something else. And I click on this, and I'm like, automatically, I ain't even watched 5 minutes of it. And I'm like, and so I clicked over it, and then I came back to it. I was like, okay, it must be a reason why I'm here. So while I'm here, let me stay here. Let me get cozy. Let me get comfortable here, up in here, right? And so that is the introduction for me, how I came across this show, which I have never seen before, even though it came out, premiered in, I believe, 2016. Let me see. Yeah, 2016. So it's been a minute, but it's new to me. So I'm gonna talk about it, because I take y'all along with me when I be watching stuff. I'm so happy to have a faith-based and family-friendly channel, y'all, because I can go back into the past, I can be in the present, I can be wherever I want to be and talk about this stuff, and it goes along with the channel. Y'all can be like, oh, what you watching that for? Like, what you doing? Okay, it goes with it. And so, yeah, I'm so excited to come across Chesapeake Shores, and I'm like, oh, I just watched the first episode, like literally finished it, y'all, and I'm so excited to talk about this, because this is the whole point of this channel, is help drawing closer to the Lord, all that good stuff. Y'all know that's always first place. But yes, right behind that, it's like having some homegirls, okay, to talk to, because sometimes in real life people don't want to sit there and hear you chat about all this little fictional world. They like, okay, good, that's all right, that's okay, that's good, that's nice, girl, all right, okay. And so I'm like, I don't want to hear all of that. I want somebody to get into it with me and stuff. So I was like, okay, that's why it's so cool to get on here with y'all, because y'all, we understand this kind of stuff, and y'all patient with me and y'all listen. So yeah, here we are in Chesapeake Shores, and I have to say, y'all know how I feel about small towns, beach town. So, oh, this place is so beautiful. It's like, oh, what a place to visit, what a place to grow up in, what a place to, yes, just spend your life here in. I can see myself there. I really can. But here we are. Let me tell y'all what the show is about. All right. So this is Chesapeake Shores, and it is about a high-powered career woman, Abby O'Brien, has made it out of her hometown of Chesapeake Shores and into the big city, New York. When the divorced mother of twins takes a trip home, she is confronted with people from her past, including high school sweetheart Sherryl, uncompromising father Mick, and esteemed grandmother Nell. It is this look into her past, combined with the realization that her career is restricting her ability to be a hands-on mother to her daughters, that leads Abby to consider making a permanent move back home. Now, favorite watchers out here, this is a family-friendly, family-oriented kind of show. Yes, it's a different little take on. Yeah, if you know, every family is different, y'all. And so we have explored some family shows, some family films here on this channel. But I love exploring different dynamics of family. But still, everybody's a family. We know every family ain't the same, right? And this family is totally different. Like, seriously, they have, like Abby would say, here we have her say in this show, the first episode, that everything looks good. Her world is like, what I have to complain about? My world is perfect. And she was being sarcastic when she was saying this, because she knows how people look at her. Like, you have the perfect life, okay? You are like a Wall Street mogul. I believe that's what her dad kind of teased her about in this episode, calling her that. And I love that her dad is very sarcastic. He can be sarcastic and put on the give you that guilt trip as well, all in the same sentence. I love the banter here in this show, like the way that they communicate, the way that they talk, and it's just cute. It makes me it makes me laugh, but it also brings home that realization to me that you be thinking to yourself sometimes, like, look at my life. Look at my life, you know, and you look at somebody else's life and it looks so amazing on the outside. You have no idea what these people are feeling, what they're going through, and what it took to get where they are. And are you willing to do what it took to get there? Is it really worth it? And I love that because we explore this in Abby's life. Okay, we meet her first. The very first family member we meet on this show is her, and right away I have to say that I was just drawn to her. I love how confident she is, very assertive. She gives off that confidence when she walks into the room. She owns that room, and it's amazing to see her in action and to see that, okay, she's also a mom, she's a mother of twins, but then we start to see other little elements there that is not as always what it seems. Like, do you really want to be Abby here? Because not long after that we see, okay, homegirl is divorced, and then on top of that, like, your husband's new girl or whatever you want to call it is working right there in the same facility as you, and it's just like, who can really deal with that? And Abby just keeps it together. Like, you do not see her break, and I love that because we know inside she may be feeling some kind of way, and she may give off a little vibe like, okay, I'm not necessarily on board with this or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm here to do a job. I'm going to do my job to the best of my ability, and whatever we got going on outside of this office, it stays outside of this office. So she ain't even worried about that. She ain't even sweating that. And most people will let certain things get to them. They will bring that personal stuff, they will mix it in with business, and you got a disaster. You got a disaster right there on display for the world to see. But you do not see that here with Abby. You would think that her husband, I believe her name is, I believe her husband's new girlfriend or whatever, fiance, whatever she's supposed to be. I believe her name is Gabrielle or something like that. I could be wrong. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But it is just like, you just already have a dislike for her because you done rolled up into something that really isn't like yours, like you're not even first place. Okay, Abby done been there, she done that, got her family and different things. So it makes you wonder what really went down between Abby and her ex-husband. We don't really know right now, of course, at the start of the show, but you definitely are interested. I know I'm like, okay, I'm here, let me hear what's going on, right? But yes, so we see that dynamic that is playing out in Abby's workspace, but at the same time, you can tell that she is on top. Everyone comes to her. She is the go-to person. You got to run across her desk first, and I just love that because I'm just imagining how that must feel, how that must be for a person to operate in such a space like that and have to hold it together and have to be on point. But at the same time, you see that her work is really her life. Like, it can't just stay in the office. She has that kind of job that when she goes home, she takes it home with her. She is constantly getting calls all throughout the day from assistants to different meetings and all kind of stuff, and it's like, yes, where do you have the time to actually live and to be the mom that we know that she desires to be, that kind of mom that is very, very hands-on? But you can tell that her daughters adore her. They're still young, probably like elementary school age or whatever. Her and her ex-husband are doing a good job with the whole co-parenting thing. They are getting along for the most part. You don't really see that kind of like, what do you want to call it? Well, what I want to call it. Like, you don't see like a bitterness or something there that is kind of seeping out, and the children are getting a hold of that and responding to that, reacting to that. No, you don't really see that at all. They're doing a good job of making sure their daughter's having a secure home, even though they don't have both parents in the household, but they're doing a good job of, like I said, co-parenting. And that's always a blessing that I just love to see, that they're getting along. Everybody's getting along for the kids' sake. But at the same time, you can see that it is taking a toll on the kids here and there. Like, they start to reveal stuff throughout the episode their little concerns, and it's amazing. It is amazing to see, and it's crazy because we do see at the beginning of this episode that Abby does have to have a nanny on deck, who the nanny is very, very close to the girls, which is amazing to have that kind of help. But you can also see that the girl starts to let their mom know here in this episode that, Mom, you're always at work, like you're never here, you're missing dance recitals. And she Abby utilizes her phone for literally everything. Like, she has to put everything in her phone so she does not miss a beat. That's just how busy she is, and her life would totally collapse, y'all, if like she did not have that phone, if she didn't have that phone giving off, you know, little alerts and different things, because she just cannot keep it all together. And no human being could really keep it all together. Just look at me talking about this. I feel like I'm all over the place just trying to capture her life in this small space, in a small amount of time, and literally like this moment. And I feel like it is not even enough time to explain the dynamics, the layers of this character in her life. But I am loving it because it's like, wow, to see this show has like 6 seasons or something like that. Is, y'all, it gave us so much in episode 1. I'm like, whoa, what is really going to happen throughout the rest of the season? Because y'all really laid it on us. But I love that they did that, because automatically you just so drawn. Like I said, under less than 10 minutes, I was already invested into Abby's life, already just loved her as a person, because there was just something about her that, even though she has this high-powered position, this job, she doesn't give off arrogance. She doesn't give off like someone that feels like everybody is beneath her, like she literally step on your back to get to wherever she gotta go, because she's in a position that she is, or feel like the world just kind of revolves around her. You should bow at my feet. Okay, don't you see who I am? Look at me. Okay, are you here? You know, she does not give that off at all, but she has this humble spirit about her. She is very self-conscious of herself and the way that she operates, the way that she does her job. You can tell that she's ambitious. You can tell she is someone who really wants to get it right. Like, she's a person that would like to perfect everything that she does, and it's not because she wants to appear to be something before other people. It is just literally who she is, and she just wants that, because I guess it comes from like her childhood. Because let me give y'all a little backstory of Abby here. Abby does have like 4 other siblings, 2 other sisters, and I believe she's probably like the oldest sister, or maybe I think she's the oldest or the second oldest or something. I don't know, but she does give off that vibe of being the oldest sister. She's definitely older than her younger sister Jess, who I just love and adore. And to me, she does give you that comic relief for me. Okay, but we're gonna get into Jess right after we get out. After we handle Abby right quick. All right, y'all see I'm all this. Excited, like these my homegirls, so like they just down the street from me. But that's literally how I feel watching this first episode. Like, seriously, y'all. So I'm so excited because I needed something. I really needed something to like really get into, because on like a movie, it's only so long, and it's like once you talk about a movie, okay, that's it for that movie. You gotta go on with your life, even though you know certain things kind of still stick with you, because that's how I am. Those characters, if I love them, they're gonna stick with me. Okay, they're gonna come back to my mind. But it's like I can't really talk about them like that with y'all at that point, because we don't talk about them and stuff. But we do a live and all. But we'll get into that probably a little later on down the road, when we got some faithful people who really here, who really down for the count. And then we can do lives and really bring back, go down memory lane and kind of just stay there and all of that. But yeah, when we're doing like little short reviews for movies, it's like where you're in and out. But when you have a TV series, it's like you can really get into it. So that's why I'm really excited about it, because I can go on and on. I can really sit here and have girl talk, girl chat with y'all and all of that. And I feel and it's just amazing. It makes me feel so happy. Like, seriously, y'all. Okay. So I think it came from, like I was saying, by Abby passed. Like, Abby's mom left the family when they were young, probably like teenagers or something like that. She literally left, and Abby didn't look at it, well, a person would call abandoned the family, but we started to see a little bit more that wasn't necessarily the case, but she did end up leaving, and she left them with their dad. And her dad is amazing, but he was also like Abby, a workaholic and doing whatever he could do to provide for his family. So, and he's very successful and all of that. So he did a good job with, like he said in this episode, putting food on the table. He did the best with what he knew how to do. So, and he really was a good dad, like seriously. He still is a good dad in his own way here. But of course, like anybody, we still have a lot to learn and all of that. You can always be better than what you are, okay? So I think that kind of like that whole perfection thing with Abby, it kind of came, like I said, from childhood, because she saw that her own family wasn't necessarily what she would call perfect. She saw that things could have been better, and it was so many different things that she saw as a kid that she was trying to avoid repeating in her own life. Since now she has some control over her life, she doesn't have to accept whatever life throws her way, like what you kind of have to do as a kid, because you just have to deal with your parents' decisions, their consequences, their choices. You don't have a choice in the matter when you are a minor, you're a child, right? But when you're an adult, you do have some control. You have some kind of say-so on how your life can turn out to be. And I believe Abby really took that to the extreme. Like, she really wanted things to be picture perfect. And that in her mind caused her to make some decisions that she started to see when she goes back home in this episode, that it makes her think, did I really, what I was trying to run away from and trying to make sure I do not repeat at all, literally I find myself repeating the exact same mistakes that my parents did. I find myself walking down that same road, that same lonely path, and now that's seeping out into my own children's lives. And it's so crazy because it do remind you of real life, like seriously real life, y'all. We know all of us have our things, whatever it may be. We ain't got to get all into it, but everybody has something, and you do find yourself doing it sometimes. Like, you want to make sure you don't repeat certain things and all of that. You trying to avoid certain things because you know how it felt to be on that particular path that had nothing to do with you, in a sense, that it wasn't necessarily your fault. And here you are on your own journey, and you got the same kind of free will that the generation had before you, and now you find yourself like literally looking right, that mirror that you were trying to avoid, that mirror that reflected something that you ain't like. You find that that's you. That is your reflection. It isn't your dad's. It isn't your mom's. It is you. And it's crazy, y'all, when Abby has this revelation in this episode, and you can see like literally like that little girl inside of her crumbling as she starts to realize that same thing that she was so upset about with her dad, that she had become that very thing and had no idea that that's who she was. And her dad flipped the table, flipped the script on her, and even told her that it was and it was a moment, y'all. It was a moment that had your breath caught in your throat. You was like, wow, because you could just see it even with your own life. Like, wow, sometimes the very thing that you be running from. So that's why it's not really good to run. It's good to just face it straight on, head on, right? But yeah, so Abby does, like, and this is how she ended up going back home running, y'all, okay? Like I said, her and her ex-husband have a good co-parenting relationship, but she sensed something is kind of brewing that her ex-husband probably is trying to tell her, because he's reaching out, calling her a little bit more about something, and she knows that he's probably, in her mind, she's thinking he's going to get remarried to this girl who's working in the office, right? And it's not really bothering her per se like that, because she's kind of really over it, but she's concerned about her girls. How are they going to be able to handle this, and how is life going to look for them? Like, it was working so fine with them co-parenting and doing their thing, living their separate lives, and the girls going back and forth. But now if her ex-husband decides to get married, how is that going to affect their whole family dynamic? And then possibly maybe they want to have their own family. How are the girls going to be able to take that? So she is thinking about all these different scenarios. So her thing is almost as if that's going to stop anything. All right, I don't want to hear this right now. I don't want to think about this right now. And her sister, her baby sister, called her and basically invited her to come back home. So she's like, I'm just going to take the opportunity. I'm going to take the girls. We're going to go back home for a weekend. As if that's going to turn off everything that she got going on back in New York or whatever. So it's hilarious to see her. Here she is running again. And she get home and Chesapeake Shores, and everything is like home. It feels like home. They're there near the water, all of that good stuff. But she finds that all the things that she was running from when she originally left home shows up, is still there waiting for her to face. And it is crazy, y'all, because number one, baby, here we're introduced to baby sis Jess is totally different from Abby. Like, Jess is, number one, she's younger, but she's also really acting younger. Like, she's kind of irresponsible. She expects Jess to kind of bail her out of things. She tends to get into things with good intentions because she's trying to make her own way. Like, seriously, you can tell she has that same little girl inside of her that wanted to hear her parents say, I'm proud of you, you're doing a good job. So she's still striving for that, even as a grown woman, has no idea that's what she's really doing. So she's constantly trying to get into things, like do business and different things, and she has no idea what she's doing or none of that. So she brought this place back home to have this like bed and breakfast, y'all, and it's a really cute place, lovely place, right? And she invites her sister Abby to check it out. And then they get in the kitchen. They see there's the issues. Some broken pipes, different things going on that is not up to code as of right now. So she's still working on fixing it. But she also needs big sis Abby to basically bail her out because the place is going into foreclosure. She hasn't even got the business going yet and is already going into foreclosure. That is how irresponsible Jess is. But like I said, it is with good intentions. She's such a sweetheart. You can tell she's very loyal to a heart, like to a T. She loves her family. And because, like I said, their mom abandoned them when they were kids, Jess has that in her where she is a person determined to stick it out. And that you can appreciate, that you can admire and be like, okay, at the end of the day, I get it, Jess. And so, yeah, you may have these little bump in the roads. And yes, you need to grow up a little bit and stop thinking that you could just call big sis Abby as if Abby doesn't even have her own issues in her life and expecting her to bail you out every single time. You know what I'm saying? But Abby seems to fall into that role so easily. And she's like, okay, she already sees it coming. All right, what do you need from me, Jess? Okay. And so they go down to the bank for Abby to talk it out with the people at the bank and see if they can kind of extend a loan to her sister Jess, just to kind of get everything going. And lo and behold, who they run into at the bank, y'all? Abby's childhood sweetheart, the guy she was supposed to, that everybody saw that she would marry. How in the world you ended up with this other guy named Wes and y'all done had 2 kids and now you're divorced and all of that kind of stuff? Who knows? But you can tell, like, the guy Trace, let me see, yeah, the guy Trace, he was much more, you could tell he was much more fit for Abby. That you could just see it right off the bat, like, seriously. And I'm like, how in the world could you leave this guy? Like, seriously, Abby, what were you thinking? Okay, what were you thinking, girl? Okay, child, y'all see Trace and how he acts, and I don't know what you're thinking, girl. I don't get it. But like I said, that was that whole need for Abby to be like, she wanted life to be, she was trying to avoid making mistakes. She wanted her life, if it looked perfect on paper, that was the route that she was going. Trace didn't look perfect on paper to her. He wanted to be a singer, get into the music industry. His life seemed like it wasn't a sure thing. There was no certainty in going into the entertainment industry. We all know that. Anything could happen while you're pursuing that dream because there's so many other people in the pool doing the same thing. So what are the chances of you actually making it? And that's probably how she was looking at it. So when she did get accepted into NYU, y'all, she took off to New York and she didn't say goodbye or any of those things. She just literally left. It's just crazy to become, and all that is going flashing through her mind when her and Trace's eyes meet. But you can tell in that moment when their eyes meet that it was, ooh, honey, what the sparks were there. They were popping, they were flying. It was the 4th of July, okay? In that moment, I was like, what, girl? Look, it's still it's still there. But yeah, that was her first introduction back to her childhood sweetheart right in that moment, and it caught her off guard. Like I said, Abby is pretty put together. Nothing really surprises her. At least she tries to be so ahead of the game that nothing really knocks her off her feet, that she just sees everything coming. And so this she did not see coming at all. And so we do have a lot of different things going on in that area in this episode. But like I said, her trying to bail Jess out, and she does agree to help her little sister get this thing together and get it going. And then we meet Grams, y'all. Okay, I love Grams. She is, you can tell, that solid foundation in this family. She is that stability. She is the rock, and she is that faith part of, I can see the faith part of this episode. Like, she is a woman of prayer. You can see when they have like a meal, she is the one making sure they all in the family sit together and they pray, they give thanks. And that's where the grandmother is right here. And you can tell, like, she has a certain sweetness and a wisdom about her, that even though you may be wrong, and she know you're wrong, and she know you could do better, she doesn't come at you where you just feel totally like broken, like you feel crushed. You already feeling that way anyway because of the dumb stuff that you did and you got yourself into. But she knows that. And she just comes to you with this, like, it just so remind you of our Heavenly Father, like arms wide open, like it is okay. Yes, she ain't gonna let you off the hook. She is gonna give you the wisdom that you need, but it's in a way that you can swallow it. That's what I really love about Grams here in this episode, and how we're introduced to her. She just loves and adores Abby's daughters. She, like I said, she is a sweetheart, and it's like nothing get past her. Even though you be thinking that you probably got over Grams, she already knew the game. Her and Abby had this conversation in this episode, and she was like, and they was talking about when Abby was little and younger, like a teenager, when she snuck out of the house. And Grams was like, she already knew. She was like, why do you think I changed? Whatever little thing she made changes to the house, she already was up on it. It was like, you thought you was getting away with something, Abby, but Grams was already there. She just has such that loving heart that you would never really think that, like, you just can't imagine. I'm telling you, if Grams is upset, if you see Grams really mad or broken about something that you did, then you really know that you done did something, because that is how much of a sweet woman she is. There's this one scene when she's laying down like on the grass or something, or was it out on the, yeah, it was on the grass out in the yard with her great grandkids, Abby's daughters, and they're laying up and they're looking up at the sky, at the clouds, and she's like, what do you see? And trying to get them to use their imaginations to create these pictures. Like, what do you see? What are the clouds forming to you? And it's such a beautiful scene, and Abby is watching from upstairs in the house, and Abby dad is like, see, you can't get this in New York, and you sure enough can't get that in no major big city to have, because everything is so fast paced, so much stuff is going on. When do people even have time to look up at the clouds just for a moment, to take it all in? And I love that Graham slows down life for the girls. She know that they're on the move in New York, back and forth between two households, and while they're here on this weekend with Grams and the family back here in a small town, they take that time. She's showing them how to slow down, how to appreciate every moment, basically how to settle underneath God's presence. And it's such a beautiful thing to behold. And I love that scene, because it is a reminder that sometimes we can get so caught up in this rat race, all over here, all over there, instead of literally taking the time. Open up your word. Look at God's handprints. Look at his handwork, okay? His handiwork all over, all around you. He is constantly showing us, hey, I am here. I love you. I'm not going anywhere. I never leave nor forsake you. I get it, okay? I've been here. Talk to me. I'm sitting here. I'm listening. And it was so many different times in this episode that Abby, and even her little sister Jess, that was why she even saw like a therapist in this show. It's because she just literally wanted somebody to listen. And we are living in a time now that there is more talkers than there are listeners. How many people really have someone who can truly listen to them? And a lot of times that's really what we want and need. We just want someone to just be there in the moment with us. You don't have to say anything. Just let me kind of just get whatever out, okay? I've been carrying this for so long, and it's getting to me. It's breaking me down on the inside. But I just want someone there, just to be there in the moment, just to be there. And that's really what I walked away with this episode, that so much went down. And like I said, in this whole family dynamic, and I'm wrapping this up because I see coming up on 30 minutes, and I don't really want to go too far beyond that, right? I know y'all got stuff to do, place to go, people to see, all of that, okay? But yeah, I walked away from this episode to be still and to know that he is God. Like, seriously, I guess I just give y'all scripture right there. don't even gotta open up the word. Right. Okay. But yes, that is the scripture that really, when I think about it, talking with y'all, that would be it. To be still and know that He is God. And that is what every character is truly needed and was seeking and longing for in their own way in this episode. That stillness. They just wanted to be and wanted someone to be there with them. So yes, once again, this TV series is titled Chesapeake Shores, and we're gonna stick this out. We're gonna ride this out, and let's see let's see what we end up at, y'all. Okay, so y'all already done got the scripture, so that's really, we're gonna come to the conclusion of this video. I want to thank y'all so much for watching and hanging out with me. If you have watched this series in its entirety, or if it's something that you're interested in, let me know in the comments what y'all thinking. Y'all know I love hearing from y'all and all of that. Don't be shy, okay? Don't. All right. So until next time, may the Lord bless and keep you both now and forevermore.